Good morning everybody, my name's Rebecca McKenna and this is Katy Egan. We're both students studying environmental education at MTU in Kerry. This morning we're sharing a really useful activity based on the Let's Hunt for Bugs resource from the Heritage Council's website. This is a great tool for environmental educators or anyone that wants to learn a little bit more about the wildlife that exists right outside their door. It can be used in gardens, hedgerows, school grounds, forests, anywhere really. And it's a really fun and engaging way to learn more about the tiny creatures that play such an important role in our ecosystems.
In this project, the main resource we used is the Let's Hunt for Bugs tutorial by Kay Sinnott on the Heritage in Schools website. It's suited to children of all ages and clearly shows how to make a pitfall trap at home to safely capture invertebrates and release them without harm. In this link here, it'll take you to the Woodland Trust website, and there's a mini beast hunt checklist which you can download and print and identify your invertebrates as you catch them.
So here we are at the bottom of our garden. We're on a bug hunt, so this is a really nice exercise that you can do with children of all ages. And all you need is a jam jar, so an old jam jar, some bait. Let's put the bait inside the jar, and that's to attract whatever bugs, mini bugs might come. So a few bits of carrot, some apple, and we have just spent a couple of minutes making a little hole using a trowel. So come over to our little hole over here, yeah, and we're going to place the jar into the ground. Perfect, yeah, and so let's have a look at that. Here it is. Nice, so it's embedded down a couple of inches. Now all we need to do is close the little gap over a little bit. Leave enough space though for the bugs to be able to clamber in.
With
okay,
sticks.
Now where's those sticks?
Here.
Put your sticks on top of the jar.
Damn it.
That's okay. Yeah,
Then we put this plate on upside down, like that.
So then we're gonna leave it for a day, maybe two.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna see what little bugs come in then.
Yeah, perfect.
And we also made one there.
Yeah.
Down there.
Okay. Cool. Woo!
The Heritage in Schools website has a teacher's resource area where we found the resource for this project. And here there's a range of tutorials and print out PDFs on a range of subjects. You can filter them here, and it often gives the age group in which it's suited to also. If you wanted to go a step further, Biodiversity Ireland have a monitoring and tracking change area on their website where they have a range of monitoring schemes to track biodiversity in Ireland. If you're not interested in monitoring, they also just have really nice resources on the website. So just for example, the Bumblebee Monitoring Scheme has some training courses on identification of bumblebees, which might be a nice rainy day activity for older kids, and just some nice resources in general. They often have swatches and posters for sale as well if you don't have access to printing. They're just not for sale at the moment, but their website says they'll be for sale in the new year. Data collected creates a map of the species around the country, especially endangered species, which highlights which habitats need protecting. Long-term data shows the effects of climate change on habitats also. Decision makers use records to inform policies such as national economic policies, farming and forestry policies. Data collected provides an open access, reliable resource to a biodiversity map for educators, students and researchers to learn from. By being involved in data collection, people naturally strengthen their connection to place,
reviving observing nature and fostering an interest in ecological heritage.
This place-based learning tool allows children to understand that their observations matter, that they're learning about the wildlife that shares this particular place with us, not just learning general facts. They can label what they find and note where it was found. Afterwards, we can ask, what does this tell us about our garden or our hedge? Which habitats are the richest? How can we make the place even better for wildlife? This naturally leads into simple stewardship actions like creating a log pile, leaving a corner of long grass, planting a mini wildflower patch, or adding water for insects. These are easy things children can revisit again and again. While we're doing this, it's really important to be gentle and to explain that these creatures are a vital part of food web health and ecosystem chains. Everyone has a role and everything has a habitat. So we put stones, wood, and long grass back exactly as we found them, and once we've had a look, we release every creature right back from where it came from.
Yum yum.